So I gotta say, I love these horses. They're so cool.
Oh, good, I do too.
How did you get into it?
I think I was born loving horses. I just think they're beautiful animals.
Yeah.
They are very special to me.
So you've been a horse lover your whole life?
Yeah. All my childhood, I would draw pictures of it, and then we got a horse when I was 12, and I spent all my time with her. And she was my best friend. I mean, that was just, she was the love of my life. So when I ended up being married and pregnant with our first child, I ran into an article in a magazine that told how to make a rocking horse. And I thought, I gotta make a rocking horse for this baby.
Okay.
So I had already had a little experience using some tools. My dad had a bandsaw, and he had taught us how to use different tools. So I read the article and it's like, I can do that, and I can do that.
Sure.
I went ahead and built the horse. Actually, the man I worked for at the time gave me a saddle. So I do the pattern to fit the saddle, made my first horse, and it was like, it worked. It was great. It was perfect. So I loved it.
A lot of years of use out of it?
Yeah, in fact, it has a Western saddle. It has the little leather straps hanging off of it. My daughter used to tie her belongings onto it and take long rides. So it had a lot of mileage on it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's got to be a pretty special feeling for you.
Very gratifying. I think when you build something with your own hands and you see it getting used and appreciated, it's very gratifying.
Are there certain models that you make?
Yeah, I have 4 different models. A pony size, I call it a pony size, named the Tonka model because my little sister had a beautiful pony named Tonka. I have a glider horse, which is a little larger. I call it the Secretariat because he's stretched out and his tail is wooden and it's going out back so he looks like he's racing. So that's a Secretariat model. And then the Chiquita model, my first horse was Chiquita. And that horse is big enough to have a little Western saddle on it. So it's my biggest model that I make regularly. And then I have a small horse just for decoration. It's the mantle horse. You can put it wherever you want when you're decorating your home.
How many do you think you've made over the years?
People ask me that, and I don't know.
No idea?
I might guess 100, which doesn't sound like all that many, but they take a while to make, and I'm not going for numbers, so I really don't know.
And you ship them all over, right?
I do. They go all over the United States.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I got a call one summer in 2013. And it was the State Department. And they said, I'm from the Office of Protocol, something like that. And one of our responsibilities is to supply gifts for dignitaries. You know, if somebody happens to have a baby or something, and said, oh, okay. So we talked back and forth, and they were interested in getting one of the horses. And I asked, who this might be for, and well, we can't tell you. But they wanted a polo mallet to go along with the horse. And I said, well, I'm sure I can make a polo mallet. And I was telling my husband, you'll never guess who called today, the State Department. And I told him about the polo mallet, and he said, that sounds like British. They just had a baby over there. It's like, oh. So in the conversation after that, I said to the lady I was talking to, I said, is this by any chance for the prince? Long pause. It could be. It was a year later that the news came out that Obama had given a rocking horse to the prince. And that year there was an exhibit at the Royal Palace, 250 years worth of memorabilia from royal children. And the rocking horse was going to be in that exhibit.
Wow.
And so, what a privilege. What a privilege.
Now, is it hard for you to let them go?
No, they don't belong here. My house is full of horses. I want them to go. I want them to go into their homes.
Go to a new home.
Yeah, and these are heirloom types, so, they probably not going to get sold in a garage sale. Hopefully get passed on, down the generations maybe. That's my hope.
I mean, that's got to make you feel special yourself, though, that what you're creating is, starting those special memories for so many other people.
Yeah. I do. I love that because I never had a rocking horse as a kid. My horse was a a tree that had turned over and the whole ball of root was, I would climb up on that, and that was my horse, you know? And so, man, if I could have had a rocking horse when I was a kid, it would have been awesome. So I think of, you know, that, yeah, the kids that get to own these horses that I make, I think of the memories they're making.
I would think that this also gives you an opportunity to think about your legacy.
And I've never really thought about that.
No?
No, I never was out to make him a name for myself.
Sure.
That was not important. But I would like for somebody someday to say, yeah, Wilson Rocking Horse is a good horse to have.
And do you think of yourself as a craftsman or an artist ever?
You know, I didn't used to, but I've come to understand that, yeah, by golly, I'm an artist.
Yeah. What do you think? You about ready to make a rocking horse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll teach you all I can.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, it will be.
The earliest known rocking horse was a crude wood carving thought to have been made for a young King Charles I. As they gained in popularity, the rocking horses became more intricate. Bow rockers were added, and they were used as training tools to teach young children how to sit on a horse properly and maintain balance. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, the rocking horse became a mainstream popular toy, bringing hours of happiness to thousands of children across Europe and the United States. Jackie Wilson has combined her love of horses and her woodworking skills to create carved masterpieces that are thrilling a new generation of children.
So what kind of rocking horse are we going to make?
I'm gonna make a Tonka.
Tonka.
Yeah.
I like that name.
I do too. This is my smallest rideable horse.
And this is the pattern for it here?
Yep, here's the body.
Okay.
I make 9 of those.
And this is 1 by
This is a 1x10.
1 by 10 pine?
Yep.
And it's very clean.
Oh, this actually, I've just discovered it. It's from New Zealand. It's called Select Pine, and it has no knots.
Yeah, it is
beautiful.
Really, really clean. And you've already prepped quite a few different stages for us, right?
Right.
Because of the amount of time it takes and the different dry times for the glues and everything
Right,
else, right?
right.
Okay, and that's what we have here?
Uh-huh.
How come we have 2 different stacks?
Because it takes 9 for the horse, but my bandsaw can only cut maximum of 6 at a time.
Right.
So I have to do 2 batches.
2 different batches.
Yeah.
So we do 1 batch of 5, 1 batch of 4.
Right.
So what are the holes here for? And you've got some dowels in place.
Yeah, that's to hold the wood secure so that it doesn't move when I'm trying to put it through the bandsaw.
Oh, I got you. So it all stays together. You cut it as one whole
Right.
unit.
Right.
And it's pretty important to keep them right around the same size. So you're
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be perfect.
All right.
As perfect as I can get it.
Once these are cut on the bandsaw, then what would the next step be?
Gluing it.
You have to glue all 9 pieces together?
All 9 pieces together.
All right, well, why don't we get started on the bandsaw?
Okay, let's do it.
Now this is the body, right?
That's right.
All 9 pieces,
All 9 pieces.
glued up, dried, and ready to go.
We're ready to go.
And how do you have it set up here in the vise?
It's upside down right now. I'm going to start grinding on the bottom side.
Okay.
This is the back end. This is where the legs will go.
That's
Front
what these
end.
pockets are for.
Yep.
Okay.
They're for the legs. And I'm going to grind a V here for between the hind legs, and then we'll round the sides for the belly.
All
Then
right.
we'll turn it over.
All right. So this is the tail, this is the head.
That's right.
And this is the tool we're going to use?
Yep. It's a grinder.
It looks pretty aggressive.
So it's great for grinding off that wood. Yeah.
Now, have you always used power tools?
No, for years, because I was never in a hurry to do a horse, I hand chiseled them.
You
It
did?
took hours and hours. And then a woodworker walked into my store one day and he said, "Oh, you ought to use this tool." And he introduced me to that. And the moment I tried it, it's like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome." So yeah, it cut the time in 1/10.
All right, well, I'll watch you and then maybe I can try.
You can. I'll let you.
Awesome. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you keep it symmetrical?
I'm constantly looking at it to see, like here it looks like it's pretty good, and then I'll have to get down there and check.
I got you. So we're just gonna sort of cut back in here and then knock this over?
We're just gonna start grinding this way and just rounding, but you don't want to take it to the edge
Right.
of either of these.
Okay,
And you'll do it on both sides.
okay.
Okay.
It's really starting to look like
It
the
is.
body of a horse.
It's very much coming along.
And do you have one that already has the head on it?
And I do have a larger horse that's all ready for a face.
Oh, okay, so we're gonna work on the face a little bit.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
This is much further along in the process.
Yeah. Head's on, glued on. I've already got the nostrils, the mouth, and the ears
Okay.
all done, and I just have the eyes left.
And the eyes, I mean, that's the window to the soul.
It is, the eyes.
Do you find the eyes are the most difficult part to do?
They are the most difficult, but I think the most critical, because the character, the character of the horse is in the eyes. And so I'm always aiming to make friendly eyes.
Yeah?
That's my goal.
So I'll watch you do this then.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
That's a good plan.
It looks really nice.
Thank you.
Very friendly.
Thank you. That's what I'm aiming for.
That's awesome. So, do we have a model that we can put some legs on?
Yes, we do. That comes next. And it's going to be the Tonka model like we were working on before.
Oh, look at that. So tell me a little bit about these legs.
That's European beech,
Okay. And why do you use a different type of wood?
because it's a hardwood. And I want the legs to be real strong. The rockers are made out of the same wood. They're so strong, I can ride this horse when it's done.
All right. And these aren't a laminate, meaning they're not multiple pieces glued up.
No, I can get it in wide enough, width that I can just make one piece.
They look like they're almost done, really. I mean, they're all shaped up and sanded and everything.
Yeah, they are. I can see ridges from the saw marks right now.
Okay.
And I could have taken that off before I did this, but I can also do it after it's on the horse, so.
I got you. And these just sort of go in like that?
Yeah,
And then once they're in place, you have to grind this and smooth it into the body?
right. Make it all blended. That's fun. It's neat like this.
So I guess we're ready to glue them up?
Yep, get our fingers all messy.
you always used wood glue, like just the yellow glue?
Yeah, definitely. And it's okay if you let the glue set just a couple minutes. If it starts to get a little tacky, that's good. That's something I used to think that you had to get it on there right away. But I have found out that it's actually beneficial to let it get a little bit tacky. Now, we'll set it on there. I've already got the screws in place. Sometimes I don't screw it in all the way in case I need to make adjustments. I want it to be as smooth as possible, and so that's always a part that it's a little bit, okay, I hope I did it. Okay, now I'm gonna measure, because they have to be the same on the rockers, because the rockers are gonna be equal parts. This is 13 and a half.
And you're measuring from outside to outside?
Yeah. It's 1/8 of an inch off. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna go ahead and we'll put these screws in, make sure they're tight. I can accept 1/8 of an inch, but I'd like it to be better.
I got you.
And this is, that's 13 and a half, so what I could do, no, that's right on.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll let it set overnight.
Let the glue set
Yeah,
up.
let the glue set up overnight.
Well, more and more, it's starting to look like a rocking horse.
Yeah.
It's just upside down.
Yep.
And our next step for this would be putting it on the rockers?
Right.
All right, so she's ready to go on the rockers.
Right.
Yeah, and the legs have been attached, and it looks like this has already been ground out and finished shaped in here. And then we've got some filler dough that's put in here too.
Yeah, any place where there are little cracks or the wood isn't perfectly snug together, we just add a little bit of filler.
Is it hard to find the right placement of the horse on the rocker?
No, because I want the horse centered on the rocker. Even though the horse is front heavy, it wouldn't look right if it was anywhere but centered on the rockers.
And this has already been notched out for us, right?
Yeah, that's so that the hoof will, come to the outside of the rocker.
Okay. So I noticed the first thing you did was prop this rocker with these blocks.
Right.
Why is that?
Because when I put the glue here, I don't want it running downhill.
Simplicity, right? Okay, are we ready to glue her on?
Yeah, here we go.
A little bit of glue down. There we go. Right. There we go.
If you'll hold the front end,
Sure.
I'll do the same thing back here.
This rocker is really, really nice.
And the glue just keeps coming out. I have to keep coming back until it stops.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, at this point, it's starting to look like
That
it's
sure
on
is.
rockers.
And this rocker base, like you said, it's the same design you use for all of them?
Right.
Pretty much?
Right.
Has it changed much over the years?
No, the first one I did not have any slats on.
Okay.
But after that first one, I decided to put slats on. It made it a nice base for the kids to step on that and climb on the horse. And it solidified the rockers too.
I gotcha. Well, it's beautiful. Now we've got to let it dry though.
Yep, yeah. That'll have to wait overnight before I can screw I will screw the hooves from the outside.
Oh, okay.
And you won't be able to see the screws because I'll countersink them and fill it.
Right.
But that has to wait overnight.
All right. Now this is about done, isn't it?
Just about.
I mean, it looks beautiful. It's all painted and finished. And do you paint most of your horses the same way like this?
Actually, I have all sorts of colors.
Yeah.
This is the only one that gets painted, but I stain different colors of brown, like a palomino or a bay or a buckskin.
That's beautiful looking.
Yeah, thank you.
So what's left?
Well, the horse has to have a tail.
Is that real horse's hair?
It's real horse hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
You have to be sort of careful with it?
Oh, yeah, you don't want to mess it up too much.
Look at that. That's pretty neat.
Looks like about the right color.
What do you think?
I think it's the right color.
You think anybody notice?
Well,
I've been thinking about growing it out.
you can get a few stares.
So how do we start?
I want the hair to come out of the tail and be up, so I have to put this on
Okay.
to hold that.
And this is just going to prop the hair up so
Yeah.
that it doesn't fall flat?
Right, so that it comes out and it doesn't just pull out or fall down on the rope. I like it to have a little bit of lift to it.
Right.
Yeah, now it's ready because that tail will come out and lay up here.
And now you're going to set that with glue?
Yeah, I'm gonna insert glue into the hole here, and I'll also spread the hair all out and work glue into the top. This is a critical part to me, trying to get the glue so that every hair has glue, and then getting it to work into the hole there in the horse is also,
Do you want me to put some glue in the hole for you?
yeah. Why don't you go do that?
Sure.
And that looks to me like it's pretty good there.
There you go.
Now I will work this in there.
It looks like it's taking you some time to figure out how to do that properly.
I'm always trying to find if there's any better way to do it than what I'm doing it. And I try to feel like,
Really set it in there.
yeah, and make sure it's all the way in. I want to try to keep as much glue off the hair as possible.
Do you always use the same color hair?
No, I have white hair, I have black hair. This is called a dark mix.
That looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
What a huge detail that brings to it.
Oh, you can't have a tailless horse.
Sure. And then you let this set up for overnight?
Overnight. There we go.
Well, Jackie, thank you so much.
You are so
I
welcome.
had such a great time.
I had fun teaching you.
This is wonderful.
Jackie found a way to share her love of horses with others. She relies on that love and knowledge to craft memories while nurturing the skills taught by her father. What an amazing legacy to live.